Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you've had a terrific Thursday and you've been able to get out and enjoy some of this beautiful weather. This morning, as I was studying and reading and then meditating, it has been really pressed on me to speak about the spiritual battle. One thing I have came to know throughout my process of healing and growing, whether you're in the spiritual community or whatever your practice is that we are not fighting against flesh and bone. We are actually fighting a spiritual battle, because there are dark forces in this world that do not want you to wake up to the truth and to who you really are. See, we're all born with a special purpose and a plan before we are ever conceived on this earth. And the dark forces of this world do not want us to realize the truth that our struggles are not in the flesh, but they're in the spirit. In fact, in the spiritual community, the saying is we're all spiritual beings going to earth school, which I kind of like because I'm always learning. So I'm here on earth and every day I'm learning and I'm growing. And as I have grown, I have came to look at things through a spiritual lens, not an earthly lens, because if you look at it through an earthly or a worldly lens, then a lot of times the issues and the things that you come up against, you get stuck. You get stuck in fleshly problems, and it prevents you from seeing the real truth. So I want to share some things I wrote down about 5 signs to know if you're in a spiritual battle. And if you resonate with any of them, I would encourage you to just seek within and think about your own lens on how you're seeing and facing the obstacles in your life. Because a lot of times when we get stuck, then that lets the darkness win, because we're letting ourselves get stuck here instead of progressing to our own internal truth of peace and love. So I'm going to read these 5 off to you. 1, sudden or extreme onslaught of various trouble, losses, and trials. And I, for one, and I don't know about you, but I have been facing almost all of these my entire life and have let myself get stuck. 2, attacks of physical danger, illness, life-threatening loss. I've been in this one too, because I have battled an illness that I no longer have to battle, because it was an attack from the dark forces of this world, and I have overcome it. So you can overcome these things as well. 3, increased temptation and luring towards sin and wrongdoing. I've been guilty of that one too. I have been tempted by many things, and those temptations were to draw me away from my own truth and light. But once I have awoken to those things, I can now see everything I come against in a different light. 4, feelings of overwhelm, despair, darkness, and fear. And 4, I think, is really important because this happens all over our world in various different ways to keep us separated, to keep us from seeing the truth, and to prevent us from becoming the best version of ourselves and preventing us from living a life full of purpose and fulfillment. 5, deep confusion, feelings of condemnation and guilt, dulled spiritual awareness. See, we get dulled spiritually when we're facing attacks here in our physical. It keeps us from seeing what's really going on. So I just wanted to give you those 5, and fear and confusion. And I think if you just look at the world around us, you will see that these 2 are primary forces in all of our worlds to try and keep us separated from coming together in unification of peace, love, and harmony. Now, I'm going to read a scripture, and that's Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness. See, this is the thing, and a lot of times this is happening to us from the time we're little. So those things are instilled in us to try and trap us and keep us from breaking free from the illusion. Now, I want to read one more scripture, and then I'm going to end with something that I found that I really liked. Acts 26:18. To open their eyes and turn them from darkness to light and from powers of Satan to God, so they may receive forgiveness of sin and place among those who are sanctified by faith in me. See, there's a battle, and it's not the battle that you think you're facing. It's not the struggles that you're having inside your home. Those are spiritual attacks in your world. Now, I'm going to read this that I found that I really like. You must recognize that all battles of life, whether physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, financial, or with human personalities, are only outward manifestations of a spiritual cause. See, the outward manifestations come from the Spirit. So when you're getting stuck and you're getting angry and you're full of fear and you're indulging in earthly desires and pleasures, you're letting the physical world deceive you from your spiritual greatness. I am going to leave that right there, and I hope that this helps you. And I just want you to know that once you can see past the illusion, life is much better and your world becomes a lot brighter. I'm going to stop now. But if no one else has told you today, I love you.